Would you like to know what the 3 stories are? 6 minutes after 10 is the time. The first involves Rishi Sunak being filmed breaking the law again. You forgot, did you, that he got fined for Partygate as well? So for a safe pair of hands, he sure breaks a lot of laws, doesn't he? And he is categorically breaking the law. He managed to somehow get himself filmed in the back of a car without anybody involved noticing that he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, which in his defence has only been against the law since, I think, 1991. I've checked, and you do not get a special dispensation from wearing seatbelts in the back of the car if your dad used to be a doctor.
A big news story.
Initially I thought that might be he'd just come out and he'd say, no, don't worry, I know that you're supposed to wear a seatbelt in the back of a car, but my dad used to be a doctor. But apparently that gives you no special dispensations whatsoever. And I think rather cleverly, or not even cleverly, just pertinently, the courts correspondent of the Evening Standard newspaper has this morning shared details of some people who have committed similar or even perhaps identical crimes. And it is far from rare. Tomorrow, a 59-year-old woman, let me just check that actually for you. I beg your pardon. Today, this is breaking, #breaking.
A big news story.
A 59-year-old woman from Ilford is being prosecuted for not wearing a seatbelt while riding in the back of the car. Tristan Kirk of the Evening Standard tells us that people get prosecuted for this kind of thing every day. A brief error of judgment, perhaps, but one taken seriously by police forces. In fact, she is one of at least 6 people in London alone being prosecuted for this offence this week. Last week, a 42-year-old man from Dagenham. Why do they all come from Essex? Why do people never wear seatbelts? What is it about Essex? It's a joke, don't at me. A 42-year-old man from Dagenham was convicted of the same crime. He received a £220 fine, plus an £88 victim surcharge and £100 in costs. 2 weeks ago, a 37-year-old woman from Lewisham, oh, thank goodness for that, was fined £40 with £40 costs and a £34 surcharge. She entered a guilty plea and possibly mitigation, so her penalty was much lower. They never get news coverage, obviously, but they do happen. And they do happen a lot. So that is story number 1. How far up your nose does that get? Do we want to hear a bit of Rishi? Is this Rishi Sunak explaining himself? Or is this just from the actual... I don't know why he does these things. They don't, in my humble opinion, make him sound good. They make him sound like it's as if he's sort of... Well, we've already described him as a supply teacher who's asked the pupils to think of him more as a friend than a teacher.
Hi. One of my New Year's promises to you was to grow the economy, and today we're announcing the second round of allocations from our Levelling Up Fund, and that's about investing in...
No, that's enough. That's enough. It's awful. The thing is, what he accidentally did was announce that he was breaking the law at the time by not wearing a seatbelt in the back of a car, a crime which would see an ordinary Joe facing about a £220 fine unless there were mitigations. So I think what we have here is a question about double standards, a question about hypocrisy, and a question about, for example, why corners of the British media spent weeks screeching hysterically about a photograph taken illegally, oddly. The bloke who took the photograph was trespassing, of Keir Starmer categorically and clearly not breaking the law. And today, footage of Rishi Sunak clearly and categorically breaking the law is being greeted with calls to move along and nothing to see here.